Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. So, inshallah, what we're going to do now is we are going to start briefly having a brief overview regarding the proofs. So, regarding the Quran, the Sunnah, the Qiyas, and the Ijma', we go through all details later on. In this first unit, let's just get a basic understanding what is considered to be the proof. What do we use as proofs in Islamic fiqh, in fiqh? You understand? So, just introduction, not all the depth of it first. So the first unit is basically this is the list of the proof and the basic things that we need to know about these proofs. Okay, right. So the first thing that we have is dalil. What do we have? The first thing we have is called dalil. Yes. So the first unit is about the dalil. Now, what's the Quran? I mean, sometimes you don't even need to define something. It's so obvious. Everybody knows what it means. There's no real need for definition. What we say here, the Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which was revealed upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So therefore, like not the other prophets, not the books, or have their own name, the Injil, the Torah, the Zabur. Then we have via the angel Jibril. Again, you will discuss this more in Aqidah and also in Hadith books. That when the Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would converse with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in different ways, via ilham, via in dreams. When the Quran was revealed, it was always revealed via the angel Jibril. Okay. And then this Quran that the Prophet received was preserved by the Sahaba and then transmitted in large numbers from the Sahaba to the Tabi'un, from the Tabi'un to Tabu Tabi'in, from the Tabu Tabi'in to those after them, and generation after generation until it reached us in its form today. Do you understand? So simple, we know this is what the Quran is. However, a few points we need to remember. The first point we need to remember is that when we use the Quran for deriving rulings, we can only use the Arabic text. Okay, the translation is not a source of, is not a proof. Why is this? Because when you have the Quran translation, like one verse has multiple meanings. Okay, it can be read literally, it can be read metaphorically, it can be taken in a particular way, it can have this meaning, that meaning. Now, the translator, he can only express that one meaning. You know, he can only express one, he can't express all the meanings. There's no, the Arabic word, the way the Arabic structure is used, or the Arabic word that has been used, that may encompass multiple possibilities. And the way the Arabic is structured, we have no problem in expressing all of these meanings. However, when we translate it into English, into Urdu, into French, into Spanish, into Gujarati, into Chinese, Japanese, now the nuances are lost. Do you understand? So we can't, yeah, you can read the Quran in English, you can understand the basic meanings of the Quran, Tawheed, belief in Allah, belief in oneness of Allah, belief in the Prophet, belief in resurrection, life after death, it will be a means of guidance, inspiration, all of these are fine. But technical fiqh rulings and aqidah masail will not be derived from the translation because this is only the author's interpretation. You understand? So let's say a verse has three possible meanings. Now the translator will pick one meaning that he thinks is the best meaning. If we just, that's why the ulama used to say that whenever you have a Quranic translation, the Arabic should always be there. Why? Because obviously in the old days they were worried that if you only have the translation and you leave the Arabic aside, that time will come to start only using the English. And they paraphrase the English, and then from one thing you get another. But the Arabic always has to be maintained. So the Arabic, the Quranic Arabic, that is the source of our rulings and our fiqh and our aqidah and our beliefs. Yes, the general meanings are conveyed in any language, but the technicalities are not in the language because the translation is simply the translator's understanding and interpretation of a particular verse. It's not the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we use the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to derive our fiqh. Does everybody understand this? Yeah, is it clear to everybody? Yeah? So that was the main point I wanted to do. That's the main thing. And now, how do we use the Quran, the Quranic words and the Quranic structures and all that? We'll do that in the second unit where we do istidlal. How to derive from the words of the Quran. How do you derive from a singular? How do you derive from a plural? How do you derive from madi? How do you derive from a mudari? How do you derive from amr? How do you derive from the maf'ul fi, from the huruf and jar? All that we discuss later on. But for now, we just know, okay, Quran is one source. And in Quran, we mean the Arabic text. Is that clear to everybody? Yes? Yeah, any questions regarding this?